All RC4 Magic Series 3 wireless dimmers include the RC4 Flkr Engine. And if you want to use it without the RC4 PC, RC4 Magic PC software and the dongle, you can do that, and it's actually quite easy. And so what I'm going to demonstrate here is how to configure it to enable the Flkr engine and then make an entire look, putting everything on the channels that we want, do the whole thing with just the tools that are normally at hand for you. So that is some small tools to push the recessed buttons and the DMX console. So the first thing we have to do, right now I have a DMX4 DIM in what I'll call sort of the default settings. So they're DMX channel 1, 2, and 3. I have red, green, and blue LEDs. And that's not where I want the channels to be, and that's not the mode that I want the dimmer in. So the first thing I'm going to do is move it to be in Flkr mode. We do this by using the function button that works like a shift key on a PC keyboard. I hold down the function button, and then the other buttons on the device have new functions. And set B lets me cycle through different modes. So right now I'm in the direct DMX control mode. When I push this set B button once, I get a flash blink pattern that tells me what each different mode is. That's an HSL mode. This is an alternate HSL mode. This is actually a Flkr mode with direct DMX on the 4th channel. And this one is the one I want today. This is 4-channel Flkr mode. This setting is now remembered. If I turn it off and turn it back on, it's in this mode until I decide to change it. So now we have, if I bring up the 1st channel, we get a very familiar, this is what the Flkr engine does if we just bring up the master channel and all the control channels are at 0. So we know we're in the right mode, but I don't want to be on channel 1. I want to be on channel 85. So we're going to take that down. I'm bringing up DMX channel 85 to 30% using RC4 One Touch. That means I'm going to have the ISL curve for LEDs. I'm going to have a little bit of digital persistence to make the LEDs look smoother. I push set A. I've now assigned my master dim for my Flkr effect on channel 85. And I need to put my control channels on the adjacent, starting at channel 86. So I bring up 86, it doesn't matter what level it is, and I go set B. So now I can bring up the master fader. That's a very familiar look, as we already talked about, and the frequency is up here, 10 channels up, so we know we've done it. So now, that's actually the hard part. Now I have the fun of just playing with my DMX controller, making a look that I like. So I've got these 4 channels are my primary colors. This is my modulation channels. You've got to look in the user manual to see what these are all about. But there's 11 channels of control that do some neat things. So here I'm going to bring up some red. I'm going to bring in a little bit of green to make it sort of yellowy orange like a fire. I'm going to modulate the red up and down. It's a bit faster than I want it to be. Let's bring in some green, add some yellows in the modulation, I mean. A little bit more red on the source. It's way too regular, so let's bring in some randomness on that LFO. And then finally, the spice of life, as far as I'm concerned with flickers, let's bring in some shimmer. This shimmer really adds a lot of fire realism. So this is, you know, it's a quick effect. I've just thrown it together for the purpose of this video, but you see it's really very easy. And I want to point out too, the master fader lets me take that whole effect and put it whatever total fade level I need the whole thing to be at. Now that took me almost no time at all to go from standard settings to Flkr mode, to put it on the channels that I need, and then create the look entirely with nothing but 2 small push tools and my DMX console. You got to admit, that was easy.